I'm just getting my camera to perfect. All right. Hello, Charu ma'am. How are you?
Hello. Hello, Charu, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we still have 2 minutes to go, but I think as we're here, we can, go on with the session.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so which one of us would you want to speak first?
Yeah. So I'll just introduce both of you. So good evening, everyone out there, and hope everybody is enjoying their Sunday. The topic of today's session is a new era citizen social responsibility. And for this session, we have two speakers on board who will be speaking for 11 minutes each. And let me give a quick introduction of both of them. So, our first speaker is Mr. Ramit Singh Chimney, who is a co founder of 8 Goals 1 Foundation, which is also known as 8-1. Ramit continues to implement and advise interventions in the development sector, where he co founded 8 Goals 1 Foundation. 8-1 promotes 8 identified goals of well being, gender equality, peace, environment, hygiene, nutrition, education, and employment. Our second speaker is Dr. Charulata Singh, who is a professor and dean of Vivekananda School of Journalism and Mass Communication. She was awarded copyright for the concept individual social responsibility by Government of India in 2017, and also for coining the word digiteracy by Government of India in 2018. So our first part of the session, we will start with our first speaker, who is Mr. Ramit Singh Chimney. Please welcome Mr. Ramit Singh Chimney. And Mr. Ramit, now over to you.
Thank you so much, Sarita. Thank you so much for that kind introduction, and it's great to be here with Charu ma'am, who I'm very eager to hear after I'm done. So, hello everyone, to everyone who's listening into this session. It's wonderful to be back again at the WEF. This is my third time on this platform, and I'm happy to note that in spite of COVID and the consequent digitization of this event, the excitement and positive energy around here is exactly the same. And I've been looking at all the videos from yesterday as well, and it's fantastic how lively this entire platform is. My talk today is on social responsibility, or more accurately, citizen social responsibility. Contrary to instructions that I've received, I'm going to take this opportunity to present a critique of the manner in which concepts of social responsibility have been blurred over the years, and how, in my humble yet opinionated view, the need that exists is to go much further than even just citizens and work towards inculcating social responsibility in each and every human being. Therefore, embarking upon a mission for humanity, just like we at the 8 Goals 1 Foundation have done, right? And I will not infringe upon the copyright that Ms. Charu ma'am has on individual social responsibility, but that's really what the point here is, right? My biggest grouse against the use of the word citizen is that it's a political construct with no other material purpose than to serve the governments of our world and provide them with the validity which they thereafter use to not only make far reaching decisions that impact all of us, but also our planet as a whole. If you take that away from the understanding of a citizen, it becomes very, very clear that all other rules and regulations that are otherwise linked to being a citizen can very well be made applicable on residents as well. Unfortunately, and since we are at the Women Economic Forum, women were perhaps the very first superset of human beings that experienced a similar ploy to create differentiation and discrimination through a socially and politically motivated construct. This construct is also what I believe, very personally, to be at the genus of all discriminatory practices across the world. The construct I'm talking about is, of course, gender and the consequent gender roles that have been passed on ever since men and women began their journey on Earth. Now, before I get sidetracked and start talking about the problems I have with the way that society has used gender to discriminate between human beings, let's get back to the problems that the concept of CSR brings forth, irrespective of whether the moniker is being made applicable to corporates, as was done traditionally, or citizens, as it seems to be being done now. Pinning the responsibility towards society to large corporates is, in my opinion, as antithetical as voluntarily giving a criminal a get out of jail free card before they're convicted. For every one company that truly cares for society and undertakes CSR from the goodness of their hearts, there are the other 99 that actively use it to hide the wrongs that they have done, change public perception about themselves, use it as a means for furthering marketing of their products and services, and more frequently, as I know very personally, to circle money back to themselves. Just like the term citizens, the terms corporations emanated from politics, insofar as those in power sought to ring-fence the activities done by them in the course of business from themselves, giving a non-living entity an independent juristic identity has ensured that business owners no longer need to worry about humanity and can therefore sleep peacefully, knowing that their actions are not by them, but this dehumanized version of themselves that has been recognized by politicians as a separate entity through the laws that they've enacted. At the core of this issue is the fact that all corporations are driven by commerce. That in itself is not a bad thing. But if you move forward, commerce is driven by consumer behavior. And consequently, the key objective of any corporation is to manipulate consumer behavior towards increased and repeated consumption. Of course, the companies spin it in a completely different way to make it appear as if this is not so. More often than not, CSR is one of those ways with which they spin it. Dow Chemicals, the ones who caused the Bhopal gas tragedy, Union Carbide, to which some of my mother's closest friends lost their near and dear ones, and many continue to suffer till date. Dow Chemicals, on the other hand, is part of a $30 billion empire. And in spite of many more transgressions around the world, its shareholders, directors, and employees all continue to make tremendous profits and revenues from these disasters. British Petroleum was responsible for an oil spill whereby over 200 million gallons of crude oil was pumped into the Gulf of Mexico for 87 days. British Petroleum is a $60 billion company. This wasn't the first time they were responsible for an oil spill either. Every time they paid their way through legally and turned public perception through their CSR. Purdue Pharma was responsible for misrepresenting OxyContin, an opioid, which is a class of drugs to whom I have lost my friends. It has contributed to 1/3.5 of all drug-related deaths globally. Cocaine, you talk about everything. OxyContin has contributed to 1/3.5 of all drug-related deaths in the world. Yet Purdue Pharma, that one company, there are many others as well, is a $3 billion company. While Purdue was charged for their misrepresentation, right? And while that was happening in court, they continued to book more than $1 billion in annual sales for the drug in that year. The point is that humans make citizens and citizens make corporations. What all of these examples show us is the fact that pinning responsibility only on a juristic identity leads to actively dehumanizing social and societal responsibilities, which is why it is important to strip away these identities that differentiate and let humans help other humans. Therefore, to broaden the parameters of this talk beyond just corporates and citizens, I would like to introduce the concept of human social responsibility, just like Charu ma'am has individual social responsibility, and I believe we speak of the same thing. For it is only the humanity in us that has the capability to work without the end goal of profits, contribute without mandates, and not capitalize at the expense of other humans. Did you know, and a few more examples since I do have a bit of time, did you know that mental disorders don't require treatment via medication in all cases? In fact, according to many, many academic studies that have been buried under seas of other medical studies, consumptions of micronutrients are at least equally, if not more effective in dealing with the symptoms related to mental diseases like ADHD and post-traumatic stress disorder, etc. However, you don't very often see advertisements or prescriptions of micronutrients being handed out to individuals with mental disorders. Did you know that menstrual blood is nutritious enough to serve as an organic fertilizer for plants? It's the most nutritious blood that either a man or a woman ever has in their body. With the presence of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, menstrual blood can provide nutrition to plants, which equals the nutrition provided by organic fertilizers. However, I've personally never heard an advertisement marketing menstrual cups even, right? Let alone anything else. Where would corporates be if they did not provide short-term solutions that set up long-term problems, which in turn find their solution in consumer-based products? Corporates are and always will be driven by commerce and consumer behavior. This has set off a race of benefiting of humans, whereby the winner is inevitably that entity which has mastered that art of manipulating customers, or more accurately, human behavior. In an attempt to balance this, corporate social responsibility is now a legally binding mandate based on certain financial parameters. In India, the corporates need to meet a requisite benchmark and are required to set aside 2% of their earnings and contribute it towards the betterment of society. This contribution to society has never been silent, especially when the opportunity to benefit of marketing these contributions can potentially turn into profits. The unending cycle that is then perpetuated is one that begins with generating profits at the expense of humanity, devoting a minute percentage of those profits towards the betterment of humanity, which in turn is utilized to generate more profits by appealing to humanity. Legally created identities require legally binding mandates to ensure a contribution of this 2%. Appealing to the humanity of humans, on the other hand, requires only an appeal which can lead to an untapped amount of social responsibility, which need not be forced or limited. Now, admittedly, while the shift to citizen social responsibility is a shift that is centered around human beings at the end of the day, right? It is still not one that puts humanity at the forefront, right? And that's where my problem is. Consider those individuals who live in countries they're not citizens of. Do they not have a responsibility towards society irrespective of their citizenship? Should they not constantly strive to be responsible humans that aim to contribute to society? Consider those individuals who have been displaced and stripped of their citizenship due to the forces beyond themselves. Should they not belong and contribute to a society which constantly strives for betterment and the upliftment of each other? Citizenship, like corporations, restricts us. It binds us to geographical boundaries. It actively prevents us from working towards betterment when we can, where we can, however we can. I can tell that I'm running out of time now, so I will leave you.
No, you can continue. That's fine. We still have some more time left, so that's fine.
So broadly, at the end, really just what I want to say, right? And I'm happy to take questions at the end of this if we still have more time, is that for us to do better, and this is really my message, right? We don't just need to change the angle from which we approach social responsibility. We need to change our entire perspective. So let's look beyond classifications, corporations, citizens, beyond mandates, beyond boundaries, and embrace that one trait that is common, that makes us who we are across the world. Let's live as humans. Let's undertake social responsibility and with humanity at the forefront. It's only then, and as I told you in the beginning, I have nothing against corporations, right? I have nothing against governments, but it's only then that these corporations and governments, citizens can achieve during the day and still sleep peacefully during the nights. That's, as of right now, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ramit. It is really not only very informative, but I must say that very emotive speech. And I completely agree on the thought that, let humans be citizen and humanity should be the idea and ideology. So now over to Charu, Dr. Charu. So yeah, you can please start your speech.
Thank you. And first of all, I would like to, thank Dr. Harbeen Arora and the organizers of this digital event and summit for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic. It is really an honor for me to be part of this August gathering and express my views on the topic. Now, when we talk about citizen social responsibility, I quite a lot agree with Ramit, when he's talking about citizen social responsibility. Somehow when we say citizen social responsibility, we are binding it, within the nation or within the constitutional framework. So, I will probably like to describe social responsibility in a more academic way. Being an academician, I will like to take all aspects of social responsibility, and that is where my concept of individual social responsibility rather than citizen social responsibility. So when we talk about the citizen social responsibility, what we mean actually is that everyone, each one need to work in the interest of the society and the interest of the environment. So that means that it is the ethical obligation on the part of the individual to voluntarily contribute to the knowledge and resources to the widest spectrum of the people in the society. So when I'm talking of social responsibility, I will take three aspects. One is political, second is social, and third is individual. You know, when we talk about the political aspect of social responsibility, we talk about democratic constitutions. We also align with other democratic values and across the countries. So probably there we figure out the concept of global citizenship. You know, when we talk about global citizenship, again we are going beyond the boundaries of the constitution, and we are probably aligning ourselves with the democratic values. And there we talk about the global citizenship, globals, various issues which we come across. So in that concept, I talk about again three things. One is awareness, second is action, and third is the decision. You know, when I talk about awareness, I'm talking only about the political aspect. So when we talk about awareness, are we aware about our policies, our laws? Are we even aware about the various provisions of the constitution? You know, whatever is done, whether it is according to constitution or not, where what laws we have, what rights we have, what duties we need to perform as citizens. So are we really aware? So that is one thing. Second is actions. If we are aware of all these things, what are our actions? Do we rise against injustice? Do we rise against discrimination? Or for that matter, if something is good done as per the constitution, do we really appreciate that, or we take people along in that thought processes? So finding out what is right and wrong. And then the third is the decision, whether our decisions are well informed, whether we take well informed decisions in the good of all. You know, for example, simplest of the example is the right to vote, right? We have awareness about the right to vote. Everybody knows, yes, we need to, this is our right, and we need, as citizen, we need to cast our vote. Then second comes the action. You know, this is our right, do we really go and vote? Do we exercise that right in the right spirit? Then third is the decision. You know, when we are casting that vote, do we really know what we are doing? Our decision is correct? Who is the candidate? Which is the political party? What they have done? What is their past? What is their contribution, etc.? You know, so are we taking that informed decision or not, being socially responsible as a citizen, right? So these are some of the political aspects. Now I come to the social aspect of it. So when I talk about the social aspect, in social aspect, there is lot which can be done. As a society or in the social arena, there are we can contribute as per our expertise. If we have certain expertise, we have certain skills, we can empower others and do the capacity building. Secondly, we can, if we have knowledge, we can share our knowledge, our know-how of our knowledge, and then empower others in the society. If we have the strength or physical strength or wealth, again we can uplift the certain sections of the society by different kinds of contributions or whatever. Now in these social areas or social sector, when we talk about, there are the government is doing a lot. There are NGOs who are contributing. There are corporates where Ramit is talking about the corporate social responsibility. So they are legally binding now, as he said, 2% to give back to the society. So people are doing, communities are doing. So there are a lot of things which we can do. as part of our social responsibility. And of course, this social responsibility is, I would rather say, if it is binding on the corporates, it should be binding on each and every citizen. Going further on that aspect, if I say, but then as it should not, even the small businesses, I would say, if they are not corporate, even if it is, if we take in that context, even if there are a lot of in digital era, there are a lot of individual businesses which are coming up, and which are probably less than 500 crores of profits. So do they not have the responsibility towards the society? Yes, they can do a lot towards whatever they are doing. And uh, so all these aspects at the social level are there. Then third, I would talk about the individual social responsibility. Now, individually, even if we are part of an NGO, even if we are part of a corporate, even if we are part of, say, even the government, or any organization or an institution, we can contribute a lot at individual level as well, right? So when I talk about individual level, means that we can contribute wherever we are. We don't have to go far. We can contribute wherever we are. Suppose I am at a workplace. At my workplace, am I working with honesty? Am I working with integrity? Do I have empathy? Do I consider various aspects of it? So at workplace also, for example, whatever you are doing, for example, if I am an academician, I am dean for journalism and mass communication in Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies. So there are a lot of students. What as my responsibility, of course, we need to go through the syllabus, and we have to complete the syllabus and all that. But I tell my students, you have to get aligned with any one of the NGOs and do work for the society. That they are working with various extension works. They have various awareness campaigns running along with whatever they are studying, etc. So we have legal aid cells, etc. So you need to encourage the students to work beyond whatever your limits are. So these are the voluntary contributions, and that is what is the social responsibility. So each one, whatever profession, whatever work you are doing, you can contribute a lot to wherever you are. For example, this is a workplace I talk about. Suppose you are in a garden, or park, or you are walking on a road. So if you are in a park, if you see an injured bird or an injured animal, what do? Where is your social responsibility to that? If you are walking on a road, you see have you ever picked up a wrapper and thrown it in the dustbin? We talk about Swachh Bharat and everything, but how each of the individual, whether we are doing enough, are we doing, these are the smallest of the things. At the community level, suppose everybody is cooking and everybody has leftover food. Do we have the food bank where we collect all the food and give to the neighborhood areas where we can contribute? So there is no limit to whatever we can do. We need only the emotional intelligence and social awareness through which we can contribute. And I strongly believe in the Indian culture and Indian values. So if we talk about the contribution to the society, in Indian culture and values, we have already been told, we are right from the beginning told to give back to the society, to give. Never we have been told to take, right, or extract. So so these values, when we talk about sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve bhavantu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukh bhag bhavet. That means all may be happy, may all be happy, may all be healthy, may all have prosperity, and may none suffer. So we need to, for me, actually, we talk about dharma. Dharma is nothing but duty. Duty is done through various kinds of actions, and these actions have an impact. They have an impact on society or environment wherever we are. Even for that matter, if somebody says that I'm not harming the environment, I'm not harming the society, why do I need to give back to the society? Even being an individual, that is my personal belief, that even by taking breathing or taking a breath, we are giving foul air into this environment. For our food, simplest of the food, or for our living, we are extracting resources from this mother nature, mother earth. So in that way, each and every individual needs to give back to the society, who whatsoever little they can do or more they can do, according to their capabilities and according to their capacities, as I said, whether it is expertise in skills, knowledge, wealth, or whatsoever, right? So we need to give back as much as we can, and it is the responsibility, social responsibility. It is an individual social responsibility, and this is my the premise of my concept, that as an individual, because whatever we take back, if each and every individual understands that he should or he needs to do a little extra to voluntarily and
Very
beyond.
well said, Dr. Charu, I must say,
So we need to give, and probably, and another aspect is that we need to highlight these small stories of contributions which may further entangle with each other, and ultimately we rise as a transformed society, because that is what is the ultimate objective of each of an act as a social responsibility.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing such lovely thoughts, and really like the idea that these smaller steps are the stepping stones for the bigger ones. So on this note, thank you once again to both of you, and I would also like to announce the award on behalf of WEF. So to Mr. Ramit, WEF would like to award you as the iconic leader creating a better world for all. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And to Dr. Charu, we are happy to confer the award as iconic woman creating a better world for all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So if we have time, I will just recite my, because sometimes I write also, so I can read.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we can just give another 30 seconds or 45 seconds. And then
Okay, so this is to you all, and to Dr. Harbeen Arora. She is doing a wonderful job, I think, by recognizing these small efforts which we, all of us, are doing in our smallest of the areas. So I think recognition is very important. It encourages us to do more. So what I have written is, it's in Hindi. आओ चले एक कारवां बनाए, आओ चलें एक कारवां बनाए, चलें जहां वहां एक नया जहां बनाए, चलो दुनिया को अपना बनाए, आओ चलें एक कारवां बनाए, हौसलों को हम जगाएं, हाथ बढ़ाएं, नजरें उठाएं, सब में समाए, औरों का हाथ थामे और अपना थमाएं, औरों का हाथ थामे और अपना थमाएं, बढ़ें जहां हम सबको बढ़ाएं, आओ चले एक कारवां बनाए, आओ चले एक कारवां बनाए.
Very nice. It was amazing. Yeah. Really loved it.
Yeah, same here.
Beautiful. All right. So on this note, thank you so much, both of you. And thank you once again for your great work and joining WEF as speakers.
Thank you.
So,
thanks
a lot.
Thank you.
Lovely to be here.
Yeah, same here. Really enjoyed. Thank you, Ramit.
Thank you.